So today's video will be the assembly of a 106 log lift, and it will be done in such a way that you do not need any extra equipment. It can be done by just one person, briefly with the help of another person. The tools required for this build are going to be an 18 and 19 millimeter wrench. You're going to need a 7/8 wrench to install the hydraulic hose, and a hammer and some Allen wrenches. So this table is being assembled upside down, so the legs will kind of be sticking towards the ceiling, and this will make it easier to assemble with just one person. So each set of legs can be installed on either side of the table. So grab one set of legs, install it on one end of the table as shown in the video, leave the bolts loose, and then move on to the other set of legs and crisscross them as shown in the video, keeping all the bolts loose. Okay, now all the legs are installed and they are loosely bolted together. And in the next step, we will be tightening up the bolts and locking them to the table. Now the table can be flipped over with the assistance of another person. Now the next step is to install the lifting arm onto the table. So the lifting arm just sits up against one of the table legs, and you'll see there are bolts that line up with the lifting arm and with holes in the table, and you'll install the bolts loosely and let the arm hang there for now. So this is just an overview showing what the table should look like now that the lifting arm is installed loosely. Okay, now we're just going to go ahead and tighten up all the bolts. Go over the previous ones that hold the leg onto the top of the table and make sure those are tight as well. Now we're going to work on installing the lifting cylinder onto the table. So the first step is to remove the pins that are pre-installed on the cylinder. You'll remove the cotter pins, pull the pins out, and then line up the cylinder in place on the table as shown in the video. You may need to use a hammer or a mallet just to gently persuade the pins to go into place before you install the final cotter pins. Now the hoses need to be installed on the hydraulic motor, and that's done using a 7/8 wrench, and you can install either hose on either port. Now the table is fully assembled and is ready to be hydraulically connected to your EcoPro 300 firewood processor.